The Krethiks were apex predators. Everyone in the galaxy knew this. Their homeworld of Kreth Prime was a death trap of venomous flora, aggressive fauna, and atmospheric storms that could strip flesh from bone. The Krethiks had clawed their way to the top of their food chain through sheer ferocity, developing razor-sharp talons, enhanced reflexes, and a hunting instinct so refined that even their young could track prey across kilometers of hostile terrain. So when the human expedition landed on Kreth Prime, as part of the Galactic Council's cultural exchange program, the Krethiks expected the soft pink mammals to cower in fear. Instead, they got Dani. Dani Martinez stood at the edge of the Krethic settlement, her thermal gloves tucked into her belt as she wiped sweat from her forehead. The atmosphere was breathable but humid, clinging to her skin like a wet blanket. Beside her, Noah Chen adjusted his scanner, documenting everything with the meticulous care of a xenobiologist who'd dreamed of this moment his entire life. "Remind me again why we volunteered for this?" Dani asked, swatting at something that buzzed near her ear. "Cultural exchange," Noah replied without looking up. "Building bridges, preventing another galactic incident like the one on Theta 7. Right. Because nothing says friendship like a planet designed to murder you." A low rumble echoed from the settlement ahead. The Krethiks matriarch, Shakira, emerged from the largest structure, a biomechanical dome that seemed to breathe with the planet itself. She stood nearly 3 meters tall, her obsidian scales catching the crimson light of Kreth Prime's twin suns. Her eyes, vertical slits of molten gold, fixed on the humans with predatory focus. "You survived the night," Shakira said, her translator device rendering her growls into clipped standard. "Impressive. Most species require environmental suits." Dani grinned. "We're full of surprises." Behind Shakira, smaller figures emerged. Krethiks juveniles, each about the size of a large earth dog but infinitely more dangerous. Their scales hadn't fully hardened yet, giving them a deceptively vulnerable appearance. One of them, barely a meter tall with bright green markings along its spine, locked eyes with Dani, or rather with her glove. The thermal glove hanging from Dani's belt was state-of-the-art human technology, designed to regulate temperature in extreme environments. To the young Krethiks, later identified as Shakira's youngest, named Takresh, it must have looked like the universe's most fascinating toy. In a blur of motion that would have made a cheetah jealous, Takresh lunged forward, snatched the glove in his tiny but incredibly sharp teeth, and bolted. "Hey," Dani shouted. "That's expensive." Noah grabbed her arm. "Dani, that's a juvenile apex predator." "Let it go." Dani shook him off. "That glove cost 3 months' salary. I'm getting it back," and then she ran. The settlement erupted into chaos. Krethiks warriors spun around in confusion as the human female sprinted past them, chasing their chieftain's cub with the determination of someone who'd grown up with 3 younger brothers and a very limited budget. Takresh, delighted by this new game, chittered excitedly and put on more speed, his developing muscles propelling him across the compound with ease. "Human Dani, stop," Shakira roared. "He will lead you into the hunting grounds." But Dani was already gone, her boots pounding against the purple-black soil as she vaulted over a water trough and ducked under a plasma line. Behind her, Noah stood frozen, his scanner forgotten in his hand. "This is how we start a war," he muttered. Takresh was fast, but he was also young and easily distracted. He kept stopping to look back at his pursuer, the glove dangling from his jaws like a trophy. Each time Dani got close, he'd spring away, leading her deeper into the alien landscape. They left the settlement behind. The terrain grew wilder, bioluminescent fungi glowing in shaded hollows, vine-like creatures that retracted as they passed, and the ever-present hum of Kreth Prime's dangerous ecosystem. Dani's lungs burned, but she'd run track in high school and cross-country in college. She'd also chased her nephew through 3 city blocks when he'd stolen her phone. She knew how to pace herself. "Come here, you little thief," she called out, a laugh already building in her chest despite the absurdity of the situation. Takresh responded with what could only be described as a playful growl, dropping the glove and picking it up again as if daring her to catch him. They'd been running for nearly 20 minutes when Takresh made a mistake. He darted into a clearing and found himself trapped against a rock face, the glove still in his mouth. Dani slowed to a walk, hands on her knees, breathing hard. "Gotcha," she panted. Takresh dropped into a crouch, his tail sweeping the ground. For a moment, Dani wondered if she'd pushed too far, if those juvenile instincts would kick in and she'd become prey. But then she noticed something in his posture. Not aggression, but the universal language of play. She'd seen it in dogs, cats, even in her nephew. The playbow. Danny dropped into a crouch herself and lunged forward with exaggerated movements. Takresh sprang away, but without the glove, he'd dropped it to focus on this new, fascinating human who played like a Krethix. They circled each other, Danny making mock lunges while Takresh bounced on his taloned feet. When Shakira and a hunting party finally found them, both human and Krethix cub were lying in the purple grass, completely exhausted. Danny's sides ached from laughter while Takresh made a sound like purring mixed with clicking, the Krethix equivalent of childish giggles. The glove lay forgotten between them. Shakira stared at the scene, her translator struggling to process the sounds she was making. Finally she managed, "You played with him?" Danny sat up, still catching her breath. "He stole my glove. I chased him. Then we played." She looked at Takresh, who was rolling onto his back despite every predatory instinct telling him to never expose his vulnerable underside. "He's just a kid." "He is a predator," Shakira corrected, but her tone had softened. "Yet you treated him as prey would never dare." Danny retrieved her glove and stood, brushing off the dirt. "We're all just trying to get by, right? Besides, back on Earth, we've got this saying, play is the highest form of research." She grinned at Takresh, who chirped at her. "I think I just learned more about your species in 20 minutes than any database could teach me." Noah arrived moments later, completely out of breath and convinced he'd find either a diplomatic disaster or his best friend's remains. Instead, he found Danny teaching Takresh how to play fetch with the glove, both of them clearly enjoying themselves. The story spread through the Galactic Council within days. The humans, those supposedly weak, soft creatures, had done what no other species had dared: treat a Krethix juvenile as a playmate rather than a threat. Shakira reported that Danny had shown neither fear nor aggression, only joy and determination. "Perhaps," Shakira told the council, "we have underestimated humanity's greatest weapon, their ability to find friendship in the most unlikely places." Back on Earth, when asked about the incident during her debriefing, Danny shrugged. "He was a cute kid who stole my stuff. What else was I supposed to do?" That, the council realized, was exactly what made humans so terrifying and so valuable. They didn't see predators and prey. They saw individuals. They saw potential friends. And sometimes they chased you across an alien planet until everyone collapsed laughing.